Hello, movie lovers. Welcome to Does It Hold Up? Oscar Redux. I'm Adam, and in this show, I pretend to go back in time and redo Academy Awards from the past to tell you who I think should have won each award. Because we know the Academy doesn't always get it right, and we sit there and wonder, I wonder why that movie won when this other movie should have won. So I'm doing my best to go back and correct those, at least in my opinion. You will have your own opinions. So drop me a comment below and let me know which movies you think should have won each of these awards we're going to go over, or if you agree with my choice. This week, we are going to the year 2016. With me, as always, is Emily, the disembodied voice, who will be reading out each of the categories, the nominations, and who won, who the Academy chose, and then I will fill you in on if I think they were right or not. So let's go ahead and get started.
We are starting with Writing Original. The nominees this year were Bridge of Spies, Ex Machina, Inside Out, Spotlight, and Straight Outta Compton. The winner? Spotlight.
I think the Academy got this one wrong. I think Spotlight is a good movie, and I think it's well written, but sometimes it punches above its weight class with the writing style, where it's not as accessible to a large majority of people, and I think it gets a little too pretentious sometimes for its own good. So I'm going to take the award from Spotlight, and I'm going to give it to Ex Machina, because although we've seen these AI-type movies before, these robot-type movies before, I think this one did something very different and something very special. These characters are very relatable. Even the AI system that he's talking to is incredible in this movie and comes across as so real and yet so disturbing at the same time. And that really starts at the script level. They took a story that we've heard a million times, added all these layers, added all these different levels, and created something wholly original and very unique. So I'm giving it to Ex Machina, taking it away from Spotlight.
Writing Adapted. The nominees this year were The Big Short, Brooklyn, Carol, The Martian, and Room. The winner? The Big Short.
Academy, I think you got this one wrong as well, because I'm going to go with The Martian. I think this movie, this script is so phenomenal. It hinges entirely on one performance, which we're going to get to later in this show. But at the end of the day, in book form, I think this story plays pretty well. But in movie form, you had to change so much to make it so visual that it's almost a completely different thing, and yet it works also. And I think lines like, I'm going to science the out of this, are incredible. They became part of the zeitgeist for so long, and that's because of it being put into this movie with this script. I think a lot of the dialogue here, no matter whose mouth that it's coming out of, would just kind of work for many of these characters. And for that reason, I think The Martian should have won this award.
Moving on to Actor in a Supporting Role. The nominees this year were Christian Bale, The Big Short, Tom Hardy, The Revenant, Mark Ruffalo, Spotlight, Mark Rylance, Bridge of Spies, and Sylvester Stallone, Creed. The winner? Mark Rylance, Bridge of Spies.
All of these performances are very good. Well, maybe not Tom Hardy, because I think he just mumbles his way through The Revenant, and I don't think there's really anything special there. Mark Rylance is really good in Bridge of Spies, but at the end of the day, one person should have won this award, and that's Sylvester Stallone, coming back to the Rocky franchise after being away for so long, playing this character again, but adding additional layers to it, having so much more depth this time around is incredible. I thought he was the front runner to win this award pretty much the entire year. And then all of a sudden he didn't. And I don't know what he did to lose it, what he did to the Academy that made them go, no, you can't have this award. We're giving it to somebody else. And I don't really care, because we all know in our hearts that he should have gotten this award. This is probably the best performance he's ever given as Rocky Balboa. And to not reward him for that is just insane. This movie is so good, and he 100% deserved it.
Actress in a Supporting Role. The nominees this year were Jennifer Jason Leigh, The Hateful Eight, Rooney Mara, Carol, Rachel McAdams, Spotlight, Alicia Vikander, The Danish Girl, and Kate Winslet, Steve Jobs. The winner? Alicia Vikander, The Danish Girl.
The Academy's not doing so well this time around because I'm going to change this award as well. I'm going to give it to Jennifer Jason Leigh for The Hateful Eight. I think every time she's on screen, she's stealing the show from a lot of very talented actors. People that really command the screen, and yet she comes on and your entire focus goes to anything that she's doing, which is an incredible thing for somebody to be able to do, and it really showcases her talent as an actress. So, excuse me. So, no disrespect to any of the other nominations in this category, but at the end of the day, Jennifer Jason Leigh should have won.
Actor in a leading role. The nominees this year were Bryan Cranston, Trumbo, Matt Damon, The Martian, Leonardo DiCaprio, The Revenant, Michael Fassbender, Steve Jobs, and Eddie Redmayne, The Danish Girl. The winner, Leonardo DiCaprio, The Revenant.
This is an award that the Academy gave out that I was sitting there watching and going, what the are you doing? I get this whole lifetime achievement thing because, we didn't give you an award yet, but it's absolute bullshit when they give it to him for a really bad movie. The Revenant is not a good movie, and Leonardo DiCaprio is not good in it. In fact, I just can't. Think about The Revenant right now. What's the one thing you remember? It's the bear attack, which, don't get me wrong, is absolutely phenomenal, but it's the only thing good about this movie, and Leonardo DiCaprio is complete garbage in this movie. I don't know what the hell he's doing. You don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't think he knew what the hell he was doing in this movie. So why did the Academy reward this? I just don't get it, especially when he has 1,000 other better performances that they probably should have recognized. And because they missed out, they gave it to him for a really bullshit performance. And I just don't understand it. And I'm like, remember watching it and going, I hate this. I hate what's happening right now. And I don't understand why it's happening. And the Academy's dumb. And I almost turned off the entire show because of it. I didn't because I'm a grown up and I know how to handle my emotions, but I was extremely upset about it, which is why I'm going to change it. Because I'm going to give it to Matt Damon for The Martian. That entire movie hinges on his performance alone. Don't get me wrong, there's a ton of other great performances in this movie whenever we cut to NASA or the other spaceship. All of that stuff is fine. But at the end of the day, Matt Damon needs to carry this entire movie, and he does. Take a second and think about any other actor and put them in this role. Put Leonardo DiCaprio in this role. Does the movie work? The answer is no. Because it can't work. This character needs sincerity, humor, heart, intelligence. This is something all combined that not a lot of actors can pull off in a very credible way. And we've seen Damon do it before in previous performances. In fact, we saw him do it extremely well in Good Will Hunting, a very early role for him. But this is where he finally puts it all together. Every single level of this performance works, and he makes this movie what it is. He makes this movie so rewatchable. Reward the man for his efforts. Matt Damon.
Actress in a leading role. The nominees this year were Cate Blanchett, Carol, Brie Larson, Room, Jennifer Lawrence, Joy, Charlotte Rampling, 45 Years, and Saoirse Ronan, Brooklyn. The winner? Brie Larson, Room.
I'm going to be honest with you guys right now that I don't think any of these 5 performances really are any better than the other nominations. They're all on equal footing, and I think they're all just kind of middling performances. They're all just kind of so-so, and so for that reason, I'm going to kind of bow out and just keep it with Brie Larson because I don't really have enough on any of these performances to say that the Academy was wrong or it should go somewhere else or it should. So I'm just going to keep it with Brie Larson. That might be a safe choice, but it's the one I'm going with.
Moving on to Best Animated Feature, the nominees this year were Anomalisa, Boy in the World, Inside Out, Shaun the Sheep Movie, and When Marnie Was There. The winner? Inside Out.
I hate Inside Out. I even hate the sequel. I don't think this is one of Pixar's better movies. I would put it towards the bottom of the ranking if you asked me where to place all the Pixar movies. I think Joy is an incredibly annoying and terrible character. I do, however, like the message of the movie, but that's not enough for me to get over the fact that I think it's overhyped, overrated, and kind of trash. Kind of like pick it up, throw it in the bin. There is no reason this movie should exist, so I'm obviously going to take the award away. And I'm going to give it to Boy in the World for the fact that it's a very unique animation, it's a good story to a point, but I think the movie overall is just a really interesting thing when you compare it to all the other nominations. Anomalisa would be my second choice for the same reason. Some very interesting animation, they're doing something unique and different, but I liked Boy in the World just slightly better.
Best Directing. The nominees this year were Lenny Abrahamson, Room, Alejandro G. Iñárritu, The Revenant, Tom McCarthy, Spotlight, Adam McKay, The Big Short, and George Miller, Mad Max Fury Road. The winner, Alejandro G. Iñárritu, The Revenant.
The Revenant is a crap movie. It really is, and I don't understand why everybody likes it. I didn't like it when I watched it in 2015. I didn't like it when I met my partner who was like, hey, we should watch this movie, and we watched it again, and I was like, this is absolute crap. I don't know why I subjected myself to watching this movie again. And a lot of people are like, maybe you just missed the point. You really gotta focus. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can watch clips of this movie and just go, that's crap. This is bad filmmaking. Don't get me wrong, it's good filmmaking. Alejandro G. Iñárritu is a good director. This is just a bad movie, and I don't think Iñárritu really did anything to elevate this movie to another level. It was kind of just point and shoot, and then things happen, and it's like, okay, great. Moving on. So I'm taking the award away because I'm going to give it to Mad Max Fury Road's George Miller. Think about it. This is the same man who gave us Happy Feet. You know, the dancing penguins, animated stuff. This man has so much talent that the Academy just refuses to recognize. And he took a dead franchise and reinvigorated it with this movie. And he's a wizard behind the camera. I mean, the ideas that he had, the innovations that he did, the way he made this film, the fact that he was like, we're going to do as much practical effects as we possibly can, even though CGI would be so much better. And don't get me wrong, there's a ton of CGI in this movie, but it's not exactly where you think it is, because George Miller wanted to do something different, and he did. This movie is incredible, and it all started with the fact that George Miller is a great director and pulled together a hell of a project. Give him the award.
And finally, Best Picture. The nominees this year were The Big Short, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, Room, and Spotlight. The winner, Spotlight.
Wrong. I don't agree with the winner of this category. I don't think it was a very good movie. I'm at a toss-up here because you could give it to a couple different ones, and maybe you could convince me why. But I think in second place for me would be The Martian. It's very close to taking the award because I think it's an incredible movie top to bottom, and it's something that's entirely rewatchable because it's just a lot of fun. But I'm actually going to give the award to Mad Max Fury Road, because when you think about movies from the 2010s that really were industry changing, career defining for many people, like, it's this movie. It is 100% this movie. It is fantastic from start to finish. It has so much good going for it, and I really can't think of anything bad. Maybe the length, maybe the movie's just a little bit too long, but when you can do so much with a very basic story, and you can really turn it into something magical and do stuff that people were not expecting. Every single movie in this category pretty much kind of looks exactly the same until you get to Mad Max, and then you're like, holy hell, this movie is far and away better than anything else. And let's just give it the award. Let's show our appreciation for how good this movie is. And the fact that the Academy just refused to do so, that it flew under the radar and didn't pick up a ton of awards throughout the entire award season, it really any of them this year, is a crime against film history. And so let's correct it. All right, that's it for the show this week, going back to 2016 to redo the Academy Awards. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts. Would you have picked different movies, or do you agree with the movies that I picked? Do you think other movies maybe should have been nominated? You know, I always stick to the movies that were nominated. Those are the ones I have to pick from, but there might be some other movies out there that were maybe worth a look at. I'll be back again on Tuesday with a box office roundup, talking about the top 10 movies in theaters, plus a few more things. And next week we'll go to the year 2017 to redo those Academy Awards. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that stuff so you never miss a video from us. And until then, remember to be good to yourself, kind to others, and keep watching movies.